Beloved neighbors of Earth. Where's that moon? There it is. October 1st. One of my good friends questioned my memory. I don't know if he was saying I ate too much sugar or if I'm not wise enough to consolidate my thinking. But I do a lot in a day, which I don't think is a bad thing. What did I do? I woke up this morning. Someone was lighting off firecrackers. But my intent was to get up and try to listen for God early in the morning, which is when he sends his messengers. And they went off. I didn't even check my phone. I wasn't going to get up though because out of my bed. And I knew that I could, and I knew that I'd be letting him down for my lack of effort would be justified. So I managed to get up. And here at the Scarborough Bluffs, this is a new spot. There's like a hill over there. It's higher than the rest. So I went there. I was 2 hours early. No, I'm not sure, and I watched the full moon go behind me, and it was cold. And yeah, and I was gonna not wait. Like a little bit of red came, and it took so long, but I did wait. And yeah, and when that sun hits, like that little peak of orange, it's like it comes up quick. It's wild. So I came back to the van. I think it was 8:30. No, that's not true. I don't know. But I went back to sleep, got in my duvet, and then I woke up around 10. Must have been 7:30. So, yeah, I got back up, went down, read some Bible, read a couple verses out of Jeremiah, the prophet, and yeah, made some eggs, used the last of my hot chocolate and the last of my honey, so it was real thick. It was a good honey. Feeling good. Went over there, read a little bit more. Kids around, volleyball, other football kids swearing and stuff. But I'm kind of getting strapped for money, like I've been saying. But I decided that going for a ride, a Toronto bicycle ride, it's what I like to do. And last time I went, I didn't break headphones. So, and I'm in Scarborough at the Bluffs. Like I'm at the Bluffs. There's a marina. I'm on the other side of the marina. So went all the way down Danforth. Like Highway 2 turns into Danforth just over there. All the way down Danforth, all the way down Bloor. I only made it to Dufferin. This is as far as I made it. But then, anything notable on the way in? No, I felt real good on the way in. Just, being, yielding, letting people go first, all that good stuff. That's not even what we're talking about. I can't even explain all that stuff because it's too many things. Do you remember how many people you were nice to in a day? Like, not really. But, I don't know. Went to Christie Pitts Park, filled up my water, and then I stopped at the basketball field, or the basketball court. And there's so many. Since the kid threatened to shoot me in the face, it's like all of his types of friends. I see them, and I don't know who's against me, and I don't feel that unsafe, scared police officer feeling, which is a shame because I'm so for everybody that I like it there. Made it to the McDonald's, and McDonald's has good Wi-Fi on Bloor and Ossington. I uploaded 4 videos, and while I was in there, have you ever sat in a McDonald's and watched all the children buying that poison with their money, and even the staff? And it's just like, I felt like crying just because I'm watching the youth eating this crap, or just like the fact that children go in there and it's a break from their day, that they need that like drug to take them out of their just whatever else they were doing. Maybe I'm not accurate, but a dark-skinned fellow, like the one that threatened to shoot me, was sitting in the back, and the bathrooms are locked, so everybody has to go ask the staff. And like a kid with like big earrings, punk kid, he must have said something to him, and then the guy freaked right out. He's like, "Leave me alone." It was the same kind of same. He looked the same as the guy that threatened me, and he was even acting the same. But and then he ended up 10 kids with scooters rolled in literally and went and sat back next to that guy. So he left, and he was like punching the thing to make the door open, and then there was like a kid with headphones on the door side that wasn't closed. It was glass, and as the angry guy walked through, he punched the glass at the guy, and he's all like tough, and it scared me too, but it scared the guy. Like he punched the guy, but the glass was there. Wow. So I got those 4 videos uploaded, and I'm like, I'm gonna go down to the shoot you in the face video. 18 minutes is one of the ones. It's still private though. I didn't share it yet. So I continue going down Bloor. I went to the Dover courthouse too. I pulled off there, looked up at it. I thought to myself, like, what did I think? Just that I do know so much. Like, my interactions with my sociableness has taught me much. And I have some kind of skill that I don't give myself credit for. And I looked up at the building, and the Dover courthouse. It's like a big hall, but it's called a house. It's really a great idea. Like, we could make a house for many. So I left there, and then why was I on the other side of the road? I think I went across. I must have. I don't know why. I'll have to get back to you on why I was. But I'm watching this elderly lady crossing the street, no cane, and she's like, hurting. And I had just hurt my back trying to pick up that motorcycle, and I couldn't walk for a couple weeks. It was weird. And I recovered. But I know what it's like to have that. I couldn't get out of bed, like that back pain, and it was only one side. It was like one leg per se. So when I saw her, she stepped up onto the curb quite well, but then she stopped, and I know that because of this summer when I was hurt. So I went up to her, and people always assume the worst of me, but I gave her a nice smile, and I slowed right down, and and she did, and like not immediately, but I must have looked back again, and she started talking to me, from Rio, so in Spanish, or she had an accent. So I eventually we conversated, and I locked my bike up, and I said, "Do you want to like use the handlebars to walk, or?" And she wanted to ride on this thing, I think she said. So like I instantly knew that she was accepting my help. Locked my bicycle up. And then she wanted to go to Dufferin Station. So yeah, I walked an elderly lady from Rio de Janeiro. Her name was Ducey. Walked her to Dufferin Station. At first I just gave her my arm, which isn't always the best. And then at the end we changed sides. We sat at a bench and watched a guy. He had like an old oil, like a vegetable oil container, and he was playing drums on like someone had left a garbage stand, like a nightstand, and it was actually quite pleasant. And then as we approached, I realized that it was just garbage, and I offered to sit on the bench, and she's like, she wanted to keep walking, and then we didn't even get past it, and she wanted to sit on it. So, and there was a gentleman there drinking a beer, and he suggested that people with a mind kind of issue get looked down upon, but not the Maritimes, but in the not the medieval times, what's that word I'm looking for, but in those times, the Renaissance, people that they were taken care of and treated better because the majority thought that they saw them as being able to see a realm that we couldn't see. And so he was pointing out that like that guy might seem crazy, but he's actually like a service, and just pleasant conversation. We're kind of all she has a bit of a language barrier, and she's elderly. So we get back up, and we held hands from there all the way to Dufferin Station, and like she kind of like was able to hold, but she doesn't have enough strength to hurt me. But it's the stability, just a little bit of stability goes a long ways. And then yeah, I sat with her, and then there was 4 police at Dufferin Station. That guy with the music selling hats or whatever, something happened, and so yeah, I walked across. We had 16 seconds, and we didn't quite make it. But Toronto lets the walk symbols go, so the light stays red. So I kind of like got across the street, sat in the station, probably for like 20 minutes, just talking back and forth. She told me that I was an angel sent from God for her walk, like along the walk, and that just that my mother probably is proud of me, and that I should start a family, and not to eat too much fat, but to eat fish. And she said she likes beef, which I believe is smart, because I've been hearing that chicken is so regulated now that it's, who knows what they do to it, but fish could be argued. So bus comes, walk her to the bus, and she was saying that people that like, it looks like we knew each other. It did. So like she commented on other people seeing us, which is cool. And she thanked me for and it's, and I said to her, I don't know if she understood, but she was kind of like an angel to me, because where would I have went without her? My path was diverted. And so I walk her to the bus, and like to walk her get up, and when you get up, it's hard to start it's and yeah, walking her, I hugged her on the bus, and she didn't have enough, so like I grabbed a couple toonies out of my pouch, and she dumped her change, like her silver change, into my hand and took only 1 toonie. And I think the bus driver just let her pay with not enough, and then she waved at me, and then waved at me again, and I watched her go off. I don't know. And then I'm sitting there, I'm standing on Dufferin, don't know where my bicycle is because I tied it up, and I wasn't thinking about that. And yeah, and then talking to Luna on the way back just about my night, and like when the different races treat a minority poorly, it's like that perpetuates racism. I have to worry about people like now, but we all do it. Anybody that's not in to the locale bubble tends to get worried about and crapped on. I was just explaining that about like how I don't mean to be racist, but it just happens to be those ones that are telling me they're going to kill me. There's a lot of broke white people, like, and even the natives I've experienced, like the broker ones, like they're not, anybody in their own bubble is going to treat an outsider like crap, and it perpetuates racism. And it's like some people think I have like a white privilege, and like maybe I do because I can walk around like I do, but every bubble threatens me. And then I go home into town, like Tandinega threatened to arrest me, Napanese detained me twice this same year, get followed home from Odessa, my own area, so it's not like I don't have this privilege. Like I get prosecuted everywhere I go. So I'm coming through Scarborough on the way back. I'm like Danforth, coming back to here just now, and I was explaining to Luna about how like those people, like the darker ones I've experienced. I have a lot of friends, by the way, so you can't, of every ethnicity. But I was just saying that like it's a shame that. Like, and that's kind of where I was just explaining the racism thing, and like a older Asian lady and a darker skinned dude was walking by the street light. I was under red, and he was like saying something and smiling though, and like, but we have different speeches, and they like to joke a lot, and so if I was scared, I could take it the wrong way. But I took out my headphone and I was talking to Luna, and he was just friendly. He said, "Oh, I'm just joking," and like whatever. But like I didn't know what he was saying. He must have made fun of me, which is just what they do. But I gave him. We fisted each other. I gave him props just because I wanted to like perpetuate friendship, like I do. I touched him, and he didn't threaten to kill me, so it was great. And then the call had dropped. Like her internet messed up for some. It was just. and it's almost like he made it. Like he made the call drop. I don't know. It was weird. I crossed the street. I'm playing with my phone, and then like another young African American fellow comes out, and he was polite. He said, "Excuse." He said, "I don't." He was slow though. Like he had like he was a homebody, like older at home, but he needed $5 to load his Presto card, and so I gave him three loonies, and I just didn't want to give. I don't, the money thing. I need money to like continue on to keep this van on the street. Diesel's $1.80 in Toronto right now. And he was explaining to me about the Presto card lady giving him a hard time, and he had to go to the store and change his money, but he didn't have any minutes on his phone, and he was a sincere gentleman, and like I gave him the 3 loonies, and then I opened up my bag and I got a couple bills because I broke one of my last hundreds, and I said, "Can I have those?" I said, "If you give me those loonies back," and he saw that I had the 5, so he did, and I gave him the 5. So I, not a big deal. Like all those, walking the lady was not a big deal. Just my presence in the McDonald's, Christie Pitts Park, those 2 interactions, like positive interactions. And I was saying that not to perpetuate racism, but on the contrary to those negativities, when I see someone like with their grandmother or dressed up nicely or like not like rich, but like they're just doing the right thing, it's like I really notice the success. Like to come out of these dangerous, violent streets, there's obviously something that's, they're not having a good time. And so I can, being a good judge is not just about prosecuting people all day. But so then, as I'm figuring this out in my mind and expressing this to my friend, these 2 darker skinned gentlemen come out of nowhere in Scarborough, and they give me a positive interaction. The one guy just needed help, and I was happy. He wasn't like a beggar. He was like a homebody he kind of reminded me of Alex Jones a little bit, like a flatter kind of face, but like really dark, and just the way he was speaking, but he was explaining too much. So I mean, like he wasn't fully running a company or anything, or I don't know what to say, but of course I'm going to help him, and I don't feel bad about it, and I'm not worried about money. I'm not sure. There's probably more to this story that I could like. So that here, did I work today? No, I wasn't working, but I accomplished works. And is there such a just judge to talk about the quality or legitimacy of what I've done today? Perhaps, but maybe not many. So yeah. I don't know. So that's my daily recap. I missed a whole bunch, but don't perpetuate racism. When there's a minority around, be kind to them and accepting. Don't let your friends be stupid. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Scarborough.